If you're considering a bath, kitchen, remodel, basement, building a new home, we got some experts here. They're going to tell us about the biggest mistakes and a bunch more information, things you don't want to make mistakes doing. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome to the Your Little Castle Show. Yours truly, Carter Rethwish, a.k.a. the Cardinal Cowboy. We forgot to mention that. You guys, we're familiar. You've seen me. Who's this crazy guy running around carrying a trophy down at Busch Stadium, right? You guys have seen me doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know there was a little cause behind it? Yeah, you kind of figured that, I would assume. But we try to inspire. Somebody survived a coma. You guys know a little bit about the story. But I appreciate you guys. Many years at Busch Stadium. Is that right, Brian?
Many years.
Okay. You've been there many times, too.
I've been there many times, yeah.
Can't be a St. Louis business owner these days without having some kind of connection with our St. Louis Cardinals, who are doing a little bit better than most people expected this year, considering all the changes. And they kind of, here's what somebody said to me. Tell me if you agree. There is no automatic Hall of Famer on this team. They used to have Arenado, Goldschmidt, and they're saying, but Jordan's coming around. JJ's looking good.
Jordan's coming around.
We'll see how it goes. But with that, tell me the biggest mistake that people often make. Who wants to tell me that one? I bet both of you guys could probably tell me a lot about some of the mistakes people make. Ryan, you and I were talking about it, and you said a lot of times people take the first bid, the cheapest bid. Is that what we all kind of agreed on? Tell me about that and why that's important. Or also, you said you had another one there for me.
Yeah, I mean, a big mistake is taking the cheapest bid, but that's not always the cheapest bid is not always. I'm not knocking those guys because they might not have overhead. It might just be a chuck in the truck. But right. I think one of the biggest mistakes is not planning before the job, wanting to move in, wanting to get the job done quickly. That's one of the things we do well with our company is we make a plan before we start the project. So, we have selections are all selected. We know lead times of materials. We're not coming in and demoing your house when the material is 8 weeks out and you're sitting there with a house that's completely demoed. I think that's where a lot of frustration comes in with customers and they realize they made a pretty big mistake of wanting to push the project forward instead of sometimes having some patience and stepping back and saying, okay, I want to do this, I want to do it right, and this is the process to do it right.
Yeah, that would seem kind of common sense, but you got people that want to rush. Is that kind of what you were saying, Ryan, to people? We've got these materials, but they're in Italy, and you're going to have out of order. You can't assemble things in a
Yeah, no, it happens more than you would think. It's just the excitement. Everybody wants it. They want it now. It's just the world we live in, and a lot of contractors have become yes men. Oh yeah, we'll get that done for you. We'll get that anything they can say to get the job, and we don't pride ourselves on saying no, but we do pride ourselves on aligning expectations. We have a discipline we have in the jobs we take on.
Aligning expectations. Yeah,
and the people we do business with, and they understand what we expect and the quality we expect and the timelines we expect to be followed, and that's how we get things done, is by aligning ourselves with like-minded individuals.
Yeah, I like how you say that. You're not afraid to tell a customer, no, we can't do that. And because if you tell them yes and then it causes problems later, in the back of your mind you're cutting corners or whoever might be doing that, and you just don't want people to do that.
I'd rather have the hard conversation with you up front than spend your money on the back end.
Yeah, being frustrated and then they come back and say, oh, you told us it wasn't going to cost that and now you've got a bunch of overhead. Not the way to do things. But you guys do residential and commercial. Tell me what you like about each one of those.
The residential, like I said, it's great because it's usually a passion. They're doing it because it's something they want, something they've wanted for a long time. The commercial we enjoy because you're helping small businesses bring their vision to life. We've built several salons in the area. We've built out some office parks, some dentist office. We've done quite a bit with small businesses, and we truly enjoy the commercial work.
Wow, yeah, that's a good list of those are some real important business types to have around here. And but when you're doing the work for them, they've got to look top notch. I mean, there's nothing that kind of will carry over to how you make your stuff look.
Yeah, I mean, the same standards are held through the residential and commercial. The difference with commercials, there's usually timelines have to stay on.
Okay.
They have businesses that have to open. They have employees that need to get back to work. So when we tell a customer, we're going to do as much as we can before the shutdown, and then you're going to be shut down from here to here. We have to make sure here everybody's ready to go back to work. If that means overnights, if that means, extra work at our expense, then we do what we have to do to keep our word.
Okay, yeah. It sounds like you've obviously taken the time to get all angles of this. Even sometimes would it happen to be on a weekend if you had to, or whatever?
Yeah, we worked this weekend.
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right, yeah. Obviously on the ball there. What do you like about residential versus commercial? Jason?
I think residential, I just love to help people enjoy their homes. You see a lot of people who are like not happy with their home, not using the home the way they would do it, want to use it, and we come in and we create a space for them. We create, like basically their little mini paradise inside their house.
Okay. Wow. Sorry there, guys. We get our alerts. Hey, turn it off.
Another tornado.
There we go.
But no, we create like their paradise. So there's a lot of people that say like I don't really like cooking anymore. I don't really like doing things because my kitchen is just it's so hard because my kitchen it doesn't work with how I cook, or it doesn't, it's old and things are falling apart. So it's nice to go in there and remodel the kitchen, and they have that passion, to cook again, and or they share it as a couple, they cook together type of situations.
Yeah, well, there's benefits to both of those. There's a little pressure, commercial, because you got to get it done, but the home stuff too. I mean, you got a family involved here, and you want to make sure that everybody gets the best quality work, and you're improving the value for a home or helping a business to stay in place, and they're providing jobs for people. So, good job on all that. I didn't realize the commercial stuff you done. That's pretty impressive stuff you've got there. There's a list of the things you've worked on. What do you like though about St. Louis? St. Louis is very unique in some areas and been around for 200-year-old buildings in some areas, but new construction in a lot of places. What do you enjoy about the St. Louis area and the people you work with?
The thing I like the most about St. Louis is the mix of housing. So like in the city, you have old houses that you can work with. You're working with historical windows, historical houses, historical trims, things that are like just really cool that you don't see anymore in the new builds. And then we have houses like here, out here in the county where it's just a typical house built in the 60s or 70s, but they're still fun to work on.
Yeah, quite the range. After somebody's house that was built in the 60s, I'm working with my girlfriend, and you start to realize the older stuff that sometimes is going to get ready to fail, or the different electrical wiring situations, and you come in and take care of those things for people though, Ryan, is that right?
Yeah. I said a brain fart.
Well, yeah, there's a lot. Well, I mean, it's just dealing with houses that are 150 years old versus something that's new, and all the different possibilities they have with regard to what you're going to run into.
All the different ways construction has changed over the years. Yeah, you never know what you're going to get into when you take the drywall down in a 100-year-old house. What's behind it? If they went over the plaster walls, if they were hiding something, you just never know.
Yeah, it could be that they find a room back in the back area that they didn't realize was there.
We haven't run into that yet, but one day maybe.
Well, it sounds like you guys know how to handle it no matter what it is. Tell me though, as a matter of being in the business, we like to hear a good story about some time when you had a client that was in a tough situation and you helped somebody that was really kind of stuck. Can you guys give me an example of somebody you've worked with however long ago that was in a tough situation?
So we had a client, they were in, I guess, the Maryland Heights area that trusted another general contractor to come in and do a complete rehab gut finish of their house. It was going to be their dream house. They added a little bit of an addition on. They really wanted to live there the rest of their lives. And about a quarter way through the project, the GC just kind of ghosted them.
Wow.
And we came in. It's not the easiest thing to do as a company, but we came in and we helped them get their house back together. We helped fix the things that were done not correctly, or permits not pulled, and we ended up saving the project for them. It did run a lot longer than what they expected. We got them in about 6 months after the original date. 6 months after the original date of the original contractor, but they were in a really bad spot. They had given that person a decent amount of funds, and the guy ghosted them. So it felt really good for us to come in and help them get their house back together.
Wow, yeah, that's got to be a tough situation to walk into, but a lot of money already blown, and they're not even.
They're already upset. They don't understand who they're upset at. You got to be patient because you have to understand their frustration was not our fault.
Right.
Their frustration, so we pride ourselves on being able to separate that, listen to the issues, and it's sitting there listening to the heartbreak and sometimes the tears is not easy when you got to go to them and go, this wasn't done right. It's all got to be redone. Your HVAC can't be vented out of the house like that, or for whatever it may have been. It's a difficult conversation, but you got to have them.
Well, yeah, it seems like you guys have got the just the right personality types between the two of you to make sure that all this is covered on both ends of that. Somebody's not going to argue with you too much because they can tell you've just got the confidence you've been doing this for a long time. That's encouraging. Tell me, obviously business is full of challenges, we like to call them, but what are some challenges you guys have been through or seen that you're like, wow, I didn't see that coming, but made you a little stronger, made something you can say, chalk that up to experience now. We've been through that situation now.
Oh, man. I would say that last salon build we did, we had a very aggressive time frame that we needed to stay with in order for the company to open back up, and it pushed us. It pushed us really hard. But I think it was a good push because it showed us the kind of quality that we can execute under pressure. And you don't really know what you can do until you've actually hit that pressure. So I think it was great for us to have that pressure. So it was a good experience, a good challenge.
It was.
Well, they say steel sharpens steel, is that right? So there you were, put on the spot and got it done. Obviously, that's important and good to see. I'm going to show off some of your guys' work here. You got some great looking stuff. We pulled up most of your pictures you got on your Facebook, which is a great place, easy for people to find. But take a look here on our TV wall, number 2. But yeah, look at that kitchen. This is pretty impressive work. I'm going to scroll through these. If you guys recall these, tell me a little bit about some of these. Who wants to tell me about? There's some stainless steel there all over the place. It looks great. That's a good looking kitchen right there.
Yeah, that was a kitchen that I think we remodeled in the Chesterfield area. Obviously, you have your 36-inch stove, wall oven, stainless steel appliances. This was a couple who were towards retirement age, and they they wanted to do their one last big kitchen.
Okay.
So that was her.
Is this part of the same thing?
Yeah, that's our same job.
Wow, yeah.
So a nice little island that they can have
that's
breakfast.
That's a giant island. You could have served dinner.
Well, they wanted to be able to have breakfast there with their grandkids, or when grandkids are over, have a spot for them. It was just a good place that they've been saving up for a long time to actually have their dream kitchen, and it was a joy to bring it to them.
And there's another shot of that, but yeah, that looks beautiful. Some outside work.
That's part of the salon.
Part of the salon there.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that looks great. Chandeliers and the whole deal. Finished basements for somebody.
Finished basement.
There you go. The big TV and all that. Some bathroom work.
It was a custom bathroom. That one, I don't know if the next picture is a shower, but we did a 0-entry shower on an angle, so the entrance is there. Corner bench.
Nice.
This was in a condo in Kirkwood.
Okay. Yeah. Dynamite looking. Yeah, that looks like glass, man. That looks great. There we go. And you can see
that was a
wow, big difference between before and after on that.
So on this project, a guy ran a stop sign. I think he was under the influence and ran through the house. Luckily, it ran into their kid's bedroom, but luckily the kid was sleeping somewhere else that night.
Yeah. Oh wow.
So the truck went straight through the front door into the bedroom. And so that's how it was when we showed up, and this is the transformation.
Wow, that's just a totally different place now. That is insane. Well, great looking stuff there, and a lot of good work that you guys do to improve our communities here and make sure that St. Louis has got the best, man. You guys are on the ball. And you're exactly the kind of people we want to have on, our kind of businesses we want to have on the show here.
Well, we appreciate you having us.
To have us talk about it. With that, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back here to finish up. But some more fun in our community. Stay tuned for more, everybody. You're watching Your Little Cast. Hey, everybody. Guess what? We get to have fun all the time at the Cardinal games. Before the game, we get to hang out with fun super fans. Say hello to my buddy Nino over here. Brett, Tanya, and Dixie. That's right. Everybody's in the video here. Family coming out to the game. Nino, what do you love about going to Cardinal games?
You love baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He loves baseball. Hey, he's all right. Scoring points with the Cardinal Cowboy.
Yeah, he plays Miracle League baseball.
Do you really?
And he likes to be on the Cardinals team at home.
Yeah.
Wow, Dino, how many times have you been on that team? How many times have you done that?
A lot.
A lot.
That's a good answer. All right. Dad, what's it like coming to the Cardinal games with your son and your wife and all the fun you get to have down here?
Oh, it's the most fun. I mean, we've been coming since Old Bush. You know, now we've got New Bush Stadium. It's the best baseball town, and it's the most fun. You know, it's fun before the game. The games are always great, and we love it.
Well, I appreciate you guys taking time here. We're at Patios, everybody. This is where the most fun is. I get to wear the full outfit here. I got the pants, the socks, the arch, Nino, Brett, Tanya, and Dixie all here, and we're outside Patios having fun. Hey, say hi to Patios. Stop on by here before a Cardinal game, and we'll see you guys soon. Nino, give me some knuckles. There we go. Go Cardinals. Giddy up.
His name is Carter Rethwich, but in St. Louis, he's known as the Cardinal Cowboy. He's a well-known fixture in the stands at sporting events in the Gateway City. He's one of its greatest cheerleaders, a super fan like no other. When he makes his rounds at almost every home game, he shares his love for sports with the rest of fandom with a smile, a cheer, some positive encouragement, and lots of selfies and pics. But the Cardinal Cowboy was born of a tragic incident. Rethwich was an aspiring athlete in high school and college. He dreamed of playing in the big leagues, but those dreams ended when he and 3 of his college friends were hit with a devastating crash by a 5-time drunk driver. One of his best friends died. Carter suffered a critical head injury. The trauma put him in a coma for 6 days. The doctors said he was never expected to function again. Those expectations never came true. He fought back and finished college. He was determined to prove the doctors wrong. Among other inspirations, it was his love of baseball that kept him going. And from his near-death experience, the Cardinal Cowboy emerged. His goal in life became to inspire others with positivity despite the odds, to help people believe in themselves and achieve their dreams.
So after my coma, I realized that it was up to me if I was going to accomplish my goals, if I was going to reach my dreams. Despite what the naysayers would say, the people that were discouraging me, like they do everyone, it's up to me if I'm going to make it. Don't listen to the naysayers. It's up to you. You decide whether you're going to succeed, whether you're going to reach your goals. Dream, and then always, always chase your dreams. Never give up. Giddy up. By now, we are on ABC 5 times a week. So many businesses are loving what we're doing to help them get their name out there. We'll sit right here in our guest chair, right here, sitting here talking to us. We're going to put on the wall your website and everything about you, and highlight you as a leader. Fill out the form you see here on our website. It's bigleagues.com, and if you go to bigleagues.com, fill out this form. Takes just a couple seconds, and you can even schedule yourself right here. Schedule yourself to be on the show, and there's no charge for us to record you. There's no charge to be in the studio. Check it out if you would like to be on. Fill out the form again, bigleagues.com. This is where we can turn any interview into a series of clips. Professional video on your website closes more sales by instantly building trust, clearly explaining complex products, and keeping visitors engaged longer, reducing bounce rate by 34%. It'll help you to gain that credibility, increase engagement, simplify complex tasks, lower your sales friction, and boost your rankings on the search engine. So this is all kind of a no-brainer. See how we've now had over 500 interviews and now almost 250 different business owners. Go to bigleagues.com. That's bigleagues.com. Go to bigleagues.com and get signed up. You can schedule right from there. Goes fast. Here we go. There we go. And we're back. It's your little castle show. Yeah, get this on camera right, camera left. This book called Magnetized Media. Yours truly wrote the introduction here. And it's a great resource if you're looking to learn about how to magnetize your media. To think what we can do these days, because if you're serious about your business, you need to do this whole internet thing, right? You guys have already done a great job. Great looking website, great looking Facebook, and a lot of great information out there. But how has technology impacted the way you guys do business these days? And even if it's just talking about some of the new tools you use to do your
So
construction
it's
stuff.
impacted us quite a bit. Quite honestly, changed Jason and I's approach to it quite a bit. We use several different programs. One's Company Cam. We can sort and store thousands of files without clogging up your phone or your computer.
Okay.
It's great for sending to customers. We can send hundreds of pictures at a time, videos, just instant without, using Dropbox or sending 4 or 5 at a time. We now use a LiDAR camera to measure existing remodels, so there's no trips back to the site. It takes full 360 pictures from where so you have some reference points. You can see where you took it from, and then up to a 1/16 of an inch accuracy in measures. It measures the windows, measures the doors, measures the floor space, the wall space, the openings, measures everything.
Yeah, you're talking about LiDAR. Holy cow! Yeah, that's high techy stuff. But because they've got that on, they used to have it on Teslas and they took it out because they got like 12 cameras now. But the higher end Waymos, they've got LiDAR on them too. I've got a little lawnmower that cuts the grass for me. It's got a LiDAR on there too.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
But you're talking high tech stuff. That's pretty cool stuff. And boy, I just get into that. A 1/16 of an inch. Holy cow, that's impressive. But yeah, it saves a lot of hassle. And we talking about Dropbox. I'm like, holy cow, you know what Dropbox is? You guys are kind of techie. That's
Yeah,
cool.
no. So and then all of those apps funnel into, the heart of we use a program called JobTread. It's a CRM. It's a customer-facing portal. It's scheduling. It keeps all of our documentation, all of our pictures, everything to do with your job. It can be accessible by a tablet, by a phone, by a computer. It's instant. If a customer calls and goes, "Hey, what'd you guys get done today?" Couple clicks and you send them the whole file.
Got it all there for you. Jason, what kind of technology changes have you had to deal with these days? It's technology takes on all kinds of.
Yeah, I mean for the piggyback on Ryan here, I think the biggest thing for us is the job tread. It's really changed how we can show the clients a great experience, because from the beginning of a lead all the way to the end of the job, it's all in that job tread system. If their guys are on the project and they take a picture, it automatically loads up the job tread, and then they can call us and say, "Hey, is this supposed to be like this or this?" So it's instant. It's not like a guy taking a picture and he's downloading it and throwing it. So it's a great system that we use. That's helped us out a lot. And I think AI. We're starting to incorporate some AI bots into that job tread, and also with our financial planning and our forecasting. We're using some AI bots, or we're working on creating some. So I think that's really helped us out.
There you go, getting into the AI stuff. These guys are on the ball, man. It's good to see that, because either you're going to catch on to stuff or you're going to get left behind. And with that, how often? What are some of the mistakes you see some of the other companies make? Not naming names, of course, but the mistakes that you don't let your customers make when you're putting together a job for somebody.
I think the biggest thing is starting the projects before you're ready. We have to show our customers that they have to have patience. I think a lot of the other companies, they'll come in and they'll start a project and you don't have your tile picked out, or you don't have your cabinets picked out, or you don't know what your paint color is. You don't understand how that's going to hurt the timeline of a job, and also that could actually incur the customer some extra charges, because if you don't have your tile picked out, maybe you think your tile is only going to be a 1/2 inch thick or 3/8 inch thick, so you build the wall for the shower that way, and then they order a tile that's 3/4 inch thick, and now you have to actually move the shower valve and everything inside the wall back out, so it's creating more work, more time, and probably a change order for a customer.
And some expense there, because they're not paying attention to what they do to plan things out. That makes sense.
Yep.
Ryan talked about that too. So important to take care of. Tell me the process. Somebody decides, okay, these guys are on the ball. We want to hire Shawver Harris. Make sure I say that right. We put the right title up. There we go. Shawver Harris Group, and get you guys in to do the work. How do they get started with you? Go to the website. We'll put this up on here. Walk me through the process a little bit.
Yeah, go to the website, fill out the form. That's a great way to get a hold of us. That's what we like everybody to do. Obviously, they can call the phone number as well, and I'll either Ryan or I right now
Answered
will
by a
answer both.
human, not.
Yeah, it's answered by a human, not somebody like a bot. And then basically we do a qualifying call to see if we're actually the right fit for each other. Because we're not a good fit for every job, and sometimes it's just easier up front to say, hey, this is not what we do, or this is not what we specialize in. We're not a good fit. And then if we aren't a good fit, we try to recommend somebody who is. Then after that, it's basically a sales consultation. We come out there, we talk with the client, see what they're looking for, and then start the design process.
Yeah, and then you got the whole crew there, and then Ryan, you're starting to kick it in because you're the
Yeah,
project
once
manager on
Jason's done his thing, he's listened to him, he's put it down in paper, and everybody's agreed. Then it gets sent to me, and things get put in motion. We bring our leads out there, we walk the job, make sure that what was discussed up front is followed through the design and the ordering process, and then once the key factors get there, we start the demo and the build. But like I said, we don't start till 90% of your product is here and ready to go. We can make sure the thicknesses, we can make sure nothing's broke, nothing needs to be reordered, and then we get started.
Yeah, that's your Italian floor is not still in Italy, right?
So right, so it's a loaded question. People always want to go, how far out are you? Well, we're probably 2 months out from starting your project. But starting your project means physically actually being in your home. There's probably 2 months of work to do before we get there. We've got to meet with designers if that's necessary. We've got to pick colors. We've got to order materials.
Permitting process.
Permitting process can take a while, especially when engineers and architects are involved. They work on their own timeline. So it's just the knowledge of how to bring all those timelines together for it to flow smoothly.
Well said. Yeah, the best laid plans. They say sharpen the knife 7 times to make one cut, right? To get things done properly. What's the biggest question people have? The biggest objection? I want to do this, but is it always price? Is it timing? What are the biggest things that come up when you're starting to work with somebody?
I think a lot of it's timing. We do get some price objections, but I feel like we're fairly well priced for the quality that we bring to people. It's mostly timing, or they're not mentally ready to have someone working in their house. I know that sounds weird, but they're like, hey, this is going to be a big project. I need, maybe I'm going to push this off a couple months because I have XYZ going on in my life, and I'm just not mentally prepared to deal with that and that at the same time. So we've run into that a lot where they say, yeah, we want to do the project, but call us back in 6 months because we just got so much going on. We don't want our kitchen torn up, or hey, we're going somewhere for vacation. Can you do it then when we're on vacation? Type situation.
Makes sense. Experts here, everybody. You guys know what they're doing. Get a hold of them. See their contact information here. You're watching the Your Little Castle Show. Giddy up.